data teams and common assessments have changed our instructional learning throughout the years. At first, we were very nervous at starting common assessments. We weren't quite sure what to do. It took quite a few years and trial and errors to get where we are today. Before, when we didn't do common assessments, we just gave a test and gave a grade and sometimes retaught, but we didn't really know what students were actually learning and what students have mastered the subject or had gone beyond the mastery of the subject. And now with common assessments, our grade level knows specifically which students know what the standards are and have mastered the standards. And it really helps our instruction as we plan, because we analyze which students have missed certain questions. And it's brought our planning along to the point of, in grade level meetings now each week, we can discuss how are we going to meet the needs of these students? How are we going to teach a certain standard? And we've seen growth from our students and improvement from our students throughout the years, and we actually can name certain students' names now, instead of just saying, oh, I don't think half my class has this standard or the mastery of this standard, but I can name specific students who I know that I need to go back and reteach, or I know students who have mastered it and need to move on. It's given us a better understanding of our class and our students, and as a grade level, it's given us more confidence in knowing what our students know. And when it comes to testing time at the end of the year, it doesn't make us nervous to what they're going to do on the test, because we can specifically know which students have mastered certain skills and have not. And so we do our best throughout the year to get them to master the skills, but it prepares them better as we go through the year and we analyze common assessments and we do the common assessments, and it helps us with our planning.
We definitely always look at DeFore's 4 critical questions very carefully. That's really what drives our instruction. We first identify the essential learnings for the unit. So we do that by looking at our standards and pulling out really the key things we want to focus on. And that really drives everything. And once we've identified those essential learnings, we build our units, we build our assessments, and then of course we build our common formative assessment. We administer the common assessment. We complete item analysis on those, and it really helps us key in on what are the students' strengths, weaknesses. We get together as a grade level, we compare our results, and we really have meaningful conversation about what we think contributed to those strengths and weaknesses, and we can kind of bounce some ideas off one another. Our school goal is to have 80% of our students score 85% or higher. So we look at our results, we look at our item analyses, and then we put students into groups as far as the students who have mastered the content and students who are still struggling. From there, the students that are still struggling, we do a lot of tiered interventions to get them to where we want them to be to have mastered the content. A lot of those interventions include, small grouping, meeting with them one-on-one, customizing, homework, morning work, anything like that. And then we reteach, through all those things, and then retest if we need to. We want to retest to see if they truly have mastered those skills after the interventions. And just as importantly as those students who have not mastered it, we make sure that the students who have mastered the content have some extension and they have some enrichment. So as a grade level, we come up with ideas of how we could do that. We, a lot of times, give them some extra, problem solving work. If it's math, with reading, we give them an advanced novel with some higher order questions. We meet with them, again, just like the kids who are struggling, in small groups, just to extend their thinking.
Our leadership team plays a very important role in the data teams process. Our teachers work very hard designing authentic, rigorous common assessments. They spend a lot of time in their teams with data discussion about those assessments. They reteach based on that data, and they meet with us several times during the school year to be able to give us feedback on how their students are doing. It is very important for us to partner with our teachers and to let them know they have our support, to let them know that what they're doing, it means a lot to us, and also that we can take action in order to be able to help them. We have our tier interventions in place in our building, but if we don't make sure that those interventions are alive and well and that they are responding to the needs of our students in all levels, the students who are not performing and the students also who we know already have mastered those standards. Our tier interventions are very important, and when we meet with our teams several times a year, it allows us to make sure that everybody in the building is working to respond to our students. We respond to them, the students who are not performing and need extra help mastering the standards, and then we also make sure we're responding to those students who have already mastered it. So it really makes sure that we are all on board and we are all in for helping our students increase student achievement and be the best that they can be.
I believe the benefits of the data team's experience has had a huge impact on our instructional program. I have seen our teachers be more intentional about looking at the most essential learnings that we expect for our students to learn. I have also seen us move to a systematic approach to developing the assessments and responding to the assessments. We have moved from responding to our assessments in isolation to looking at our assessments collaboratively to meet the needs of our students. Utilizing DeFore's 4 critical questions have given us a very unique opportunity to look at how do we respond when our students know the information, how do we respond when they don't know the information, in an effort to ensure that we are very intentional about meeting the needs of all of our students.